Okay, let's unpack this for you today. Have you ever found yourself in, a financial pinch, needing some quick cash before that next paycheck finally rolls in? We've received some really fascinating material about just that. It's specifically focusing on Indiana, actually, and how to navigate online payday loans there.
Yeah, this is a crucial area because these short-term loans, they're often presented as a swift solution for unexpected expenses,
Hmm.
things like a sudden medical bill maybe or an urgent car repair, that kind of thing.
Right, the emergencies.
Exactly. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's really about bridging that gap, until your next income arrives.
Absolutely. And the source material we're diving into today, it highlights a specific service called 15mfinance.org. It lays out how they claim to make this whole process incredibly fast, easy, and secure.
Speed and security, often the key selling points.
Yeah, we're talking loan amounts from as little as $50 up to $550. So our mission for you today is really to pull out the most important nuggets from this information so you know exactly what this service offers, how it seems to work, and, well, what it might mean for you. So let's start with the basics then. What exactly are these Indiana payday loans all about, according to the source material we have?
Well, in this context, a payday loan is described pretty simply. It's a short-term, small dollar loan. It's designed specifically to cover those immediate expenses until your next payday. That's the core idea.
Okay.
The source explicitly frames them as a quick fix for unforeseen costs, with amounts ranging from that $50 to $550 bracket we mentioned. A key insight here, I think, is how these services really capitalize on the immediate, the urgent nature of financial emergencies,
Mhm.
positioning speed and accessibility as like their primary value. That's what they're selling.
That emphasis on speed is certainly appealing when you're in a pinch. No doubt about it. The source makes quite a strong case for using 15mfinance.org specifically. What stands out about their approach? What are the key features they highlight to, attract users?
Well, they certainly emphasize several compelling features. The big one is the entire process is pitched as 100% online, which means eliminating the need to visit a physical location. For many people, that adds significant convenience right there.
Yeah, definitely. No driving around, no waiting in line.
Exactly. They also claim to be safe and secure, stating they use advanced encryption to protect user data. That's pretty standard nowadays, but important to mention.
Sure.
And when they mention a trusted network of lenders, this typically means they aren't the direct lender themselves.
Ah, okay.
Right, they're more like a platform, a connection service, linking you to various short-term loan providers who might fund the loan.
Got it. Like a marketplace.
Sort of, yeah. And a really significant point they highlight is their assertion that they work with all credit types. They even explicitly state, bad credit, no problem.
No problem, huh? That's a bold claim.
It is. And they also allude to flexible repayment terms, though the specifics aren't heavily detailed in what we saw. The overarching message really seems to be one of convenience and broad accessibility. They're trying to build trust, especially, I think, for those who might be concerned about their credit history.
So, okay, on the surface, it sounds incredibly straightforward. Almost maybe too easy.
That's often the impression, yes.
But for our listeners who like to be well informed,
Mhm.
is the application process through 15mfinance.org truly as simple as it sounds? What is the source detail about the actual steps involved?
Well, the source material does break it down into what they describe as 3 easy steps. Pretty simple layout. First, you fill out an online form. They suggest this takes only about 2 minutes.
2 minutes, wow.
Yeah, that's the claim. This involves providing basic personal info, income details, and your banking details, standard stuff. Second, they promise instant approval. Now, this means lenders review your application in real time, and there's potential for multiple loan offers, apparently.
Okay, instant approval. We should maybe unpack that a little.
Right. The third step is getting your cash. You select the best offer, supposedly, and funds are deposited very quickly sometimes, they claim, even on the same day. But back to your point about instant approval, while the speed and simplicity are heavily emphasized, it's important for you to understand that in online lending. Instant approval often refers more to the speed of the initial decision from the platform or a lender.
Not necessarily cash in hand instantly.
Exactly. It doesn't always mean the immediate availability of funds in your bank account, though, as I said, the source does mention same-day funding as a possibility. There can be processing times involved.
That's a crucial distinction, yeah. Good to clarify. And what about who can actually qualify for these loans then? According to 15mfinance.org's presentation, is it a high bar to clear, or is it really designed for broad access?
According to the information we have, the eligibility criteria are presented as quite straightforward. It really suggests broad accessibility. You need to be 18 years or older, you have to be an Indiana resident, naturally.
Makes sense.
You need to have a steady income, and they mentioned this could be from a job, but also potentially benefits or another verifiable source, so some flexibility there.
Okay.
And you need an active bank account.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually for depositing the loan and taking repayments.
Right.
The source explicitly states no long credit checks, no endless paperwork, which really reinforces that idea of quick, easy access. This approach, it focuses much more on your immediate financial capacity. Can you likely repay this short-term loan soon, rather than a deep dive into your long-term credit history?
Which is typical for this kind of loan, right?
Very typical, yes. But it also usually means the loan terms, the interest rates, the overall cost can be quite different, often higher than traditional bank loans.
Right. That's the trade-off for the speed and looser credit checks, usually.
Ugh.
So, okay, let's bring this together. What does this all mean for you, the learner? We've just taken a pretty deep dive into how this one service, 15mfinance.org, presents itself as a way for Hoosiers people in Indiana to get those quick payday loans, emphasizing the 100% online process, the speed of that initial approval, and even the possibility of same-day funding for amounts ranging from $50 up to $550.
Yeah, and it really encourages us to think about, well, the various avenues people explore when they need to manage financial shortfalls and just the ease of access to solutions like this. While the source definitely highlights the streamlined nature, the minimal paperwork, the low barriers to entry like bad credit, no problem, it is worth noting, just generally speaking about online payday loans, that while they are quick, they often come with significantly higher annual percentage rates, APRs, compared to traditional loans from banks or credit unions.
That's a really important point, the cost factor.
Absolutely. They are designed for very short-term repayment. And while this specific source doesn't detail the exact costs or APRs involved through their network, understanding the general characteristics of these types of loans is absolutely key to being truly well-informed before you make any decisions.
Absolutely. It really makes you consider the different tools available for navigating those unexpected financial moments and, the different factors you really need to weigh up. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Indiana payday loans and specifically looking at how services like 15mfinance.org are presented. We hope you've gained some valuable insights into how these specific services are designed to work and maybe what questions to consider as you navigate your own financial landscape. Keep that curiosity buzzing, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.